Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Jordan Oberg Show. If you're brand new here, you're going to absolutely love it. I will say it's an interesting one if you are just joining us for the very first time, but you'll like it. Today, we are talking about a very, very, very important and serious topic, regret. And it's a deep one, as you can tell by the title. If you are new here, please do follow us on Instagram. We do have a Facebook page, and it is linked. You can follow it. I probably won't post on it. Facebook's just terrible, so we're rocking on the Instagram right now. I got to get better at the social media thing though. So if you are following me, I know I do a little bit of story posts here and there, but I got to get more on top of the actual posting. So I apologize, but we're covering a pretty deep one here. We're just going to jump right into it. Normally, if you're not familiar with how this works, I normally obviously have my laptop here, and I usually bullet point some things that I'm going to be talking about. Obviously, I kind of run through it before I actually start recording and uploading and all that, but today we're just winging it. I have 3 things written down: Ecclesiastes, Joshua, and James. 3 verses, that's it. I'm not reading from a script. I'm going to be looking at you the whole time. I don't want to say I'm winging it because, I obviously put some thought into it, but on the idea of reading from a script, yeah, I'm winging it. I don't have anything written down. But it's a good one today. And not that this one's hard to talk about, but it's like I know I have to put out my own personal experiences. So not that I'm uncomfortable. It's just like, I don't know. It's just funny because like the people who are close to me that watch this are going to laugh at me because they know how I am on like a very personal level. So when they hear this, they're going to laugh. But, that's all. The only thing I really have to fear is Jesus Christ, and none of you are Jesus Christ, so I should be okay. But yeah, we're talking about regret today, and regret is, I hate regret. So it's January 8th when I'm recording this in the morning. It's actually 1:30 in the morning. This episode releases later today in the afternoon, but it's going to release during the time of the Super Bowl. So I don't actually expect anyone to click on this today. So everyone should be watching this on the 9th or after. Go Seahawks. Not a Seahawks fan, but I just don't want the Patriots to win. Trash. Anyway, I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. I really don't care. I'm a Browns fan. I'm always going to end up losing, so I kind of just pick the winning team of whoever's playing that day. I can't really speak. But like I was saying, I do have to kind of put out my own experiences. And regret is like that deep feeling you get in your chest when you know you probably should have done something or you wanted to, but you were too scared to do. That's most common with me is I want to do something, but I'm too scared to do it. And like I said, today's January 8th. I promised myself on January 1st of New Year's that this year is going to be a year that I do not regret anything. We're 40 days in, and we have failed that challenge. So, thank God it's still early in the year, but we failed. So, you're going to laugh, but I'm telling you, I regretted this today. This was like a serious regret today. This is a small regret. Maybe it's a big regret. I don't really know. It's a regret, and it happened today. Now, this isn't as big as maybe some of your guys' personal life regrets. This is just a small one that happened today that I'm bringing up because it just happened today. It's very convenient that it happened today. I went shopping today. With my grandma and my little sister, and I went shopping. We walked into this chocolate store, and I walked in, and I'm not going to lie to you, today was not a great day. I was not having a good day whatsoever. I was very overstimulated. My anxiety was going crazy. It just wasn't a good day. If you have anxiety and you often get overstimulated, well, you know how I felt. And this was at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, so we're already pretty deep into the day, right? So we walk in this chocolate store, a very good chocolate store. It's amazing. I didn't get anything. I was just there with my grandma and my little sister, and we walk in, and this is low-key a little embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. I walk in, and yeah, one of the girls my age behind the counter, she's really pretty. I'm like, you know what? And here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, I was already having a terrible day. I'm like, just zero emotion, right? Like I'm low-key kind of monotone in the store right now. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm like, she's actually really pretty, and I was like, you know what? I should ask for a number, or something like that. And I didn't, obviously. That's what this whole story's about. But I was very hesitant about it. And obviously it was because of fear. And I'll be honest with you. If I was alone, 95% chance I would have done it. But I'll tell you, my fear, I don't think was the act of doing it. I think the fear was I'm with my grandma and my sister, and if she says no, that would be embarrassing with family and other people in the store. That's like the embarrassing moment. So we're walking away. We walk out of the store. And again, this probably sounds so stupid, but like this was like a real fear of mine in the store. I don't know why. So we're walking out, and I have like a good 2-minute walk back to my car. Like this is an outlet mall, by the way. And I'm walking back to my car, and I just have this feeling of like, dude, go back and do it. Like, do not be a baby, okay? This place closes in an hour. All right, it's 8 o'clock. They close at 9 p.m. Go back and do it. I'm actively in my car. I'm starting to pull away. I'm like, dude, just do it. Dude, just do it. Dude, just do it. I didn't do it. I drove away. And I had a huge rock in my chest of like, you should have done it. And I'm going to tell you why this story hits so hard, right? Because I texted my friend about it. And my friend said, YOLO. And obviously, YOLO means you only live once. And it's like, that. It's such like a small situation. Like, it's not that deep. Like, who cares? You just, you know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't supposed to be a big story. But I'm making it into like a big moment because the truth is there are things that you do on a daily basis, right? You go to work, you interact with tons of people throughout, not even the day, but through the week, right? Through the month, through the year, you interact with so many people. And honestly, yeah, through the year, I mean, we're in February, you're going to meet so many new people. And so many opportunities are going to arise in that time frame. And, you know, it's like there are going to be things that you are going to want to do and you're not going to because of fear, right? And that's where regret comes in. So this is where we start. So Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verses 4. Not verses 4, just verse 4, sorry. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. In other words, if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will never act. Ecclesiastes 11 through 4, that is. Again, I'll reread it just in case. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. So all that's saying is, if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will never act. I mean, what can you feel regret about in life, right? And I'm not going to lie to you. I did have a few bullet points written down, I guess, on this part, just to, like, explaining some of, like, the regrets that people might have, just so, like, I didn't have to come up with it on the fly. But, like, if you wait for the perfect moment, you will never act. This is probably the biggest one. When, like, hearing that verse, I automatically think of people, like, when they say, like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym when it's the right time, though. Like, bro, what does that even mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's funny. You know, that's just stupid. But let's say I wrote a few down, and I actually wrote quite a few down. I think a few regrets. Here's a few personal ones. Not saying I love you enough. Letting pride stop an apology. That's a big one. Losing a friendship over something small. Staying silent when someone needed encouragement. Not having the hard conversation sooner. That's a star. Like, I put a star next to that one. That's a big one. Timing and hesitation, right? So waiting too long to try something. Not shooting their shot. That was me today. I did not shoot my shot. Talking themselves out of something they felt called to do. That's a big one when it comes to faith, right? And that ties into a verse, by the way. We're going to come back to that right after I read the rest of these. Letting fear make the decision for them, assuming there would be more time. This one's big. My main audience is obviously college students. Not applying to a job because you felt not ready. Staying in something that's clearly killing your peace. Ignoring a gift or a talent you know you have. Choosing comfort over growth. Oh my gosh, that is the highlight of this whole thing, I think. Letting someone else's opinion decide their path. That's a big one, depending on like the household you might have grown up in. Staying quiet to avoid conflict. Compromising values to fit in. That's a big one. Compromising values to fit in. I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of college students. The biggest ones about compromising values was sex. The number one conversation, the number one value was always losing virginity to fit in. That's like the biggest one that I've had conversations with. That one, obviously drinking, vaping, sure. Sex was the biggest one for sure. That's the biggest one. This one's also big. These are like faith-related ones. Letting doubt talk louder than conviction. Confusing fear with wisdom. Waiting for a sign when the next step was obvious. And praying about something but never moving. Ignoring a nudge that you might have felt clearly. These are just a few. I mean, what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8. A little over 15 to 20 of them right there. But we're going to go back to the one I talked about when you know you were supposed to do something and you didn't do it. That is James 4:17. So James James chapter 4 verse 17. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin. That is huge. Now, I want to be very clear on this one, right? So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is a sin. Now, this is important, right? Because I don't want you to get confused by, okay, if I feel regret, that means I sinned. And that's not what that means at all. It's when you know the right thing to do when you don't do it. For example, if you are in public and you are watching someone getting bullied, for example, right? Someone's getting picked on something and you are watching, knowing that you should step in and do the right thing and you don't, and you sit there and you watch and you act like every other bystander, and you regret that, that is sin. That is a sin. Now, not shooting your shot with someone at a store is not a sin, right? That it might feel like regret, and it might be regret, but it's not a sin, right? This is, James 4:17 is more about doing what you know is right, but you failed to do that because of fear, because of, whatever it might be. That is sin. Now, I did say this is going to be a shorter one, so we are going to start wrapping it up here. But I'm going to leave off with Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Now, Joshua 1:9 is one of the biggest verses in the Bible. Everyone knows that. That's a lot of Instagram story bios and all that stuff. But, take it seriously. Literally, the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. If you know it's the right thing to do, I'm focusing right now not on finding your future girlfriend or a boyfriend in a store. I'm talking about doing the right thing here, whether it's a job, anything that can relate to your life when it comes to regret. If you know it's the right thing to do, you should do it, right? And obviously that's a gimme. I hate to break it to you, but it's not supposed to be easy, right? Being a Christian is not supposed to be easy. Doing the hard things is not supposed to be easy, especially when it comes to doing the right thing, right? Doing the right thing is not going to be easy. It's going to be hard, and it's going to not always feel comfortable. Right? You're supposed to be outside of your comfort zone if you'd like to grow. That's, it's a gimme. But be careful because, if you know you're supposed to do it and you don't, that's where you're failing in the kingdom. But yeah, I'm just going to read this one more time just because it's so good. I'm not going to lie to you. I might hang this up and stick it on my wall. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 4, whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will never act. If it's not the perfect moment, who cares? Okay? You might be tired and you made a goal. I want to work out, but I'm really tired. Who cares? Get up, start doing push-ups, start doing sit-ups, start moving, go drive to Planet Fitness, go on the Stairmaster for 15 hours. If you're a girl, that's normally how it goes, right? It doesn't matter. If you always look for the perfect time, you're never going to do it because the reality is there never is a perfect time to do anything. There never is a perfect time. You're supposed to act, all right? You're supposed to act. You're just supposed to act. There's no perfect time. You're supposed to do it not when you feel is right. You just do it. You know what I'm saying? People overcomplicate this, and I think that's what drives me nuts sometimes. There's no perfect time really for anything. You just got to do it, A little bit of a Nike plug there. Just do it. But yeah, today's a shorter one, and it's a little bit more lax and a little more lenient and, with the whole vibe, I guess, if you want to call it that. But this is one that I find to be really important, right? Regret. Don't let fear regret, or don't let fear start regret. All right. If it's something simple like the interaction I had today, just do it. Who cares if if a girl says no to you, if a guy says no to you in public, who cares, bro? Guess what? You're never going to see him again. That's the best part about it, I think. You're literally never going to see them again. Like, who cares? If it's about a job, do it. Because if you don't get it, guess what? There's something out there better for you. At the end of the day, God is going to lead you where you're supposed to be, but you have to act, okay? You cannot sit in your room. You cannot sit on your couch. You cannot sit at home. You cannot sit wherever you want to and just assume that you're just going to teleport there, because it's not going to happen. You have to act, and there is no such thing as a perfect time. You just got to do it, all right? God bless you guys. It is nearly 2 a.m. I should probably go to bed. God bless you guys.